It's Halloween time, which means it's time to talk about one of my greatest joys and fears, creepypasta, the folklore sort of melded together stories on the internet of scary things such as Slenderman, which have proliferated and gotten grown and grown on the web and become so much worse. And now Slenderman is, we know it's been a game, Slender, and then it's been ported over to Xbox and PlayStation now for all of us to enjoy and be upset by. And it's interesting to see that this sort of web folklore bleeding into, I guess, mainstream.
Yeah, I love it because I think like horror video games now, I mean even games that are really more like about emotional response, like maybe a Gone Home, are really exciting for a couple of reasons. One, Oculus Rift is going to make them even more terrifying. Like, let's go really scare the shit out of ourselves. Secondly, I think we've become so numb to the first-person shooter, to the oversaturation of violence and crazy action all the time, that it's like, thank God we can do something now to like make us feel again. And I think that there's a lot of no, I mean maybe that's my own problem, but again, you know, I love it. I mean, it goes back to the time when I remember like, I don't know, I was 10 years old playing Titanic Adventure at a Time, which like scared the shit out of me. And still to this day, I can remember being so afraid. And I want a video game that can really like freak me out.
Well, have you played Five Nights at Freddy's, which itself sounds like a creepypasta? Not really, though. It's kind of like if you were the night watchman at a pizza restaurant that has animatronic puppets, but when you're not looking, the animatronics come to life and they kill you.
What a better way to create video games really than like sort of a crowdsourced story. You know, you can see, you can go on to Creepypasta if you're a game developer and you say, oh, this is really affecting people a lot. This is making them scared. Why don't we make a video game out of this? The narrative structure is perfect for something that's interactive that people already are going to be craving. Why not?
It's great, but it's also strange to see that Slenderman has been copyrighted now after being sort of an open creation of the web. So it makes me fearful of, you know, is that going to happen from now on? A lot of creepypasta, though, is based on real life items. There's like the Squidward suicide from SpongeBob SquarePants. There's the Majora's Mask Ben Drowned game, story based on the game, which you can't copyright now, but oh my gosh, that story, it killed me. But maybe you could see someone appropriating the one that we were talking about with the caves.
Oh, the Mystery Cave.
Mystery Cave.
Yeah, which is a story I remember in the early 2000s, maybe 2000, 2001.
It's still up.
That's
still up.
One of the first.
One of the first, yeah, creepy stories. It was a guy going in, spelunking his way through these real tight crevices, and the story of a demon that he thinks that he saw there. Perfect for a video game.
It's
perfect for
horrifying.
Oculus. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I really like the way that these stories are often told. Like, oftentimes someone will post them, and then the responses to that will be like, what happens next? Like, we need updates. As in sort of like, we want to believe this is true, and like learn the explanation, and sort of, you're good at telling stories, please keep telling this one.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we have the more recent pop-up of the NoSleep subreddit, which is, the conceit of that is we're writing these stories as if they are real. They're not real, keep cool. But it's this, you know, this sharing of scary stories and scary storytelling.
You know, throughout history, we've always really liked to tell stories, whether it was sitting around a campfire or on the Reddit NoSleep message board more recently. But there's something about that communal sort of all being terrified together that I think really from a psychological standpoint goes back to, okay, like we all feel these separate emotions all the time, but if we're all together feeling afraid, there's something like kind of nice about that.
But you also get to be alone and scared
at
the same time.
That's true.
And you can see that sense of community in the stories that get told the most. Yeah. Like there's a bunch of them about weird, crappy television shows.
Candle Cove.
Candle Cove is one of them that like people like I don't remember if it was real or not, so they do a little digging, because we all have those shows that we watched when we were 6 and we kind of convinced ourselves they weren't real because they were so bizarre and out of time. There's ones about creatures that are summoned just by thinking about them. Yeah. Which is terrifying, because just by knowing about it, you're summoning that creature to your own end. That's the Stay Puft conundrum and whatnot. There's a whole bunch about like discovering something on the internet. like finding a video that you have no explanation for, or a forum or a thread or a Reddit, and that becomes the meta sort of creepypasta. Creepypasta about creepypasta.
I think something happens when you are reading a story that is just white text, or white text on a black background. That's different than watching a scary movie, or even maybe even reading a book. It's because you have this sense of complete immersion. The voice that's telling you the story is the one in your head. All of the imagery is something that is completely just crafted from your brain, and maybe some photos here and there to sort of like help paint the picture and sort of just set the scene.
I definitely agree with you on that. That's a really good point. You know, like I love to read fan fiction. Sometimes I like to read erotic fan fiction. Anyway, but it's like a different way of consuming this. And some people might say, oh, why would you do that? There's video. There's all these immersive different things that you could be looking at and feeling and experiencing. But I like going to that inner place in my mind, and it makes it so much more visceral in a way.
Yeah. More terrifying. Nobody is scarier than your own, screwed up subconscious.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm the most fucked up person in my life.
No, me too. Oh my God!
Friendship,
Yay!
yay.
Who are you?
I know both of you, so it would be you guys.
Okay,
in my
good.
life.
Oh.
Let's write a creepypasta.
Oh my God, let's do it.
It's communal.
Can it be like the behind-the-scenes things, the goings-on at night at TYT Studios?
Yeah. Let's workshop that. What do you think of creepypasta, and do you enjoy it yourself? What is your favorite one, and why do you think that is? Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe.